And the next session is no less interesting than last session because we're going to look into the retail CBDC pilot, challenges and lessons learned from the pioneers. And thanks to internet and technology, we have all panelists live from all over the world. We have pilot project on retail CBDC practices and lessons learned from Nigeria, from China, and from Sweden. And the moderator here
Recording in
is
progress.
live from London. So we're going to have all the panelists from all corners of the world to talk about the retail CBDC pilot, challenges and lessons learned from the pioneers. Okay, and the moderator today is actually live from London. I believe it's 3 a.m. in London now. So I should say good morning to Dr. Thamarak Moonjak. He's a chief representative from the BOT London Representative Office. Okay, and once again, we're going to talk all about the practices, the challenges, the opportunities, and also the lesson learned of the pilot project on retail CBDC, all the practices, all the lessons, all the threats, all the challenges and opportunities to talk about how other countries did all the pilot project from Nigeria, from China, and from Sweden. I believe now they're coming all the way from 3 or 4 countries. I think we're all set. Hello, all panelists.
Good morning.
Good morning from London. I think it's 3 a.m. in the morning. So I should...
Yes, actually. So most of our participants are quite early, same London time and Stockholm time, Nigerian time.
Thank you very much for being here today. So now the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So good morning and welcome to the session on retail CBDC. As we all know, CBDC is a very hot topic among the central banks. According to the Bank for International Settlements, about 90% of central banks are now investigating CBDC. And just to give you a background, CBDC could be classified into two streams. One is wholesale, where commercial banks use CBDC to pay and settle among themselves. Second would be retail CBDC, where the public, retail consumers use CBDC to pay among themselves or pay to merchants. So the focus today would be on retail CBDC. And retail CBDC is a very complex thing. First, it is consumer facing. So you would have probably millions of users. You also have various stakeholders to be involved in the process of issuing, distributing, and processing. So you'd have central bank, you would have commercial banks, you would have payment service providers, you would have merchants to have to come together and work around business rules, technical issues, as well as legal and regulation issues. And to top all of this, to ensure trust, you would also need to ensure that your system is actually secure, available at all time, and also protect data privacy and financial stability. So retail CBDC is actually a very complex thing. And only a handful of central banks have actually done pilots on retail CBDC, or actually done live CBDC tests with actual users. So today we have among the 3 pioneers, central banks, which have already done some pilots. So let me introduce the panel. First, we have Mr. Adelu Fadel from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Central Bank of Nigeria just issued e-Naira over a year ago, and it's now their first anniversary. And then we have Dr. Carl Andreas Clausen from the Swedish Riksbank, a country which already probably more or less cashless. And Sweden has already done pilot on e-krona. And of course, we have Ms. Liu Yuan from People's Bank of China Digital Currency Institute. And China is a very big country, and its pilot has been going on at a very big scale. And earlier this year, as we heard from the news, even foreigners can use ECNY during Winter Olympics. So today we have a very diverse group of pioneer central banks, and it's a good chance for us to learn. So I'll ask the first set of questions, similar set of questions to all the panelists, because I think the answers might be very much different. So it's very good to learn. So the first question would be on the motivation and the progress so far. And the rule that we have agreed among ourselves is lady first. So today, Ms. Yuan, please. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Chair. And it's my great honor actually to attend this great conference, and also very glad, to communicate with all the colleagues. And speaking of the motivation for us to develop an ECNY, I think mostly we can reach in three areas. And the first is to improve the efficiency of central bank money issuance and the central bank payment system. Because as we know, the designing, the printing, minting, the circulation, clearing, redemption, and the melting, and also the counterfeiting of banknotes and coins will take up a relatively very huge, human source and financial source. And the statistical analysis of which needs to be, to be more efficiently conducted, and the anti-money laundering and other compliance requirements needs to be better met as well. So, besides, the fact that banknotes and coins are not that easy to carry, and also could, add more pressure to COVID-19, like this kind of, epidemic situation. So with the digital development, of China, and the ECNY could significantly reduce the cost and improve the efficiency of currency issuance and circulation, and as well as improving the timeliness of statistical analysis, and provide support on macro regulation and anti-money laundering. However, in that sense, although ECNY can facilitate, the traditional use of banknotes and coins, that does not mean that there is a kind of like a replacement or whatever. So in our mind, we think that these two are just complementing each other and coexisting as the fiat currency of China. And, also in recent years, we have witnessed a trend that a lot of central banks are improving their payment systems in terms of coverage, participants, and capacity, efficiency, and also operating hours. Well, the ECNY system also aims to achieve the same goal, to enhance, the operation of the central bank's payment system as a whole. For now, the ECNY system can offer 724 non-stop services to the general public, and also we have the feature of very high efficiency with settlement upon payment, and also ECNY has joined hands with more participants from different sectors. And second reason is to provide a backup or redundancy for the retail payment system. Because already that the two big giants, PSPs, Alipay and Tenpay in China, they have already become very significantly important, financial infrastructures. And nowadays, people just go shopping. They are very accustomed, to go shopping without any physical wallets, cards, or cash. So they only bring their smartphones. And to avoid any financial instability caused to the general public by anything bad happened to the two big giants, and we, as a central bank, we think it is our responsibility, to be prepared and ready to have a backup or redundancy. And the last but not least is for the, for the financial inclusion kind of dimension. And one of the dimension is that you have already mentioned just now in your opening about the short stay foreign visitors in China, and previously it's very difficult for them to enjoy the same convenience as us, for the rapidly growing mobile payment. And now with the with ECNY wallets, they can also enjoy the low value payment as convenient as us. And also for those unbanked population, they can also very easily to enjoy the mobile payment with the ECNY services. And also, for the merchants and also for the market participants as a whole, the ECNY can provide a more level playing field for them. Yeah, I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you. That's very fascinating. Would Adilu or Carl would want to add, please? China is very special case, and I'm sure yours are very special as well. If not, then I'll pick on Adilu.
Yes. Thank you very much. I think we have a lot of things in common as central banks, and just riding on some of the things that Ms. Nguyen has shared. Yeah. So from the perspective of motivations, we at the Central Bank of Nigeria, we identified a number of motivations for our projects. And okay, I'm just trying to put up something. So we see quite a number of reasons why we would love to have the CBDC done. So improving availability and usability of the central bank money. We saw a lot of trend of interest in private money. Crypto is significant in that, and we have very large youth population who are very eager to express their innovative potentials, and this energy was going to a wrong direction. So we needed to harness this energy positively, and so our CBDC can be seen as a way of actually harnessing the positive energy of our youth in the direction of innovation and all the other good things. I mean, we like to strengthen our payment system. Financial inclusion actually is one of the biggest goals that we are pursuing with the Nigerian CBDC, e-Naira, and processing cash. I mean, it's a problem. I mean, for Nigeria, that cash is still very predominant, and the cost of managing that with the increasing counterfeiting of cash notes, that is also some area that the digital cash can help us. We loved, I mean, from working with the fiscal authority, and because bringing more businesses into the formal, from the informal sector to the formal sector, we increase revenue to the government, and also because of the desire of the government to also have an effective way of delivering welfare to the citizens. Especially COVID taught us a lot of lessons, and moving cash to the nooks and crannies of the villages was not easy. So a digital cash will be useful in this sense, and then cross-border is a huge one, especially for the sub-region in Africa. And remittances, I mean, is one of our biggest source of forex in Nigeria. So these are several areas we love to harness but there are specific triggers that made Nigerian CBDC to move very fast. And one of those triggers was that there was already existing policy on cashless and digital payments that Nigeria was pursuing prior to 2017 when we started evaluating CBDC. So CBDC came to us as a way to take those cashless initiatives to a higher level. And secondly, the government of Nigeria was also recently pursuing diversification of the economy because Nigeria have a lot of reliance on the crude oil, and the government is trying to address that vulnerability to explore other areas and also to develop digital economy. So building a digital economy requires a digital currency, and I mean, it was very timely for us to launch a digital currency in Nigeria. And lastly, like I said, innovation is our big desire. We have a large youth population, and the potential is yet to be harnessed to a significant level, and our CBDC is exploring to enable that innovation layer where we can capture more of the youth's talents and build a world of new possibilities on payments and the economy. Maybe I stop there for now. So,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very interesting. You and Ms. Yuan focus on improving the payment system process, the cash processing that's inefficient. So you also focus on innovation. But now let's hear from Riksbank, where cash processing probably is not a big problem.
Yeah, no. Cash processing is it's a problem from another perspective. I can come back to that. But it was very interesting to hear your motivations. I think for us, we had a more philosophical motivation, I would say. So the Riksbank is the world's oldest central bank, actually. So for 354 years, we have issued money. So we have provided the money that the general public, you and I, can use both for store of value and as a means of transfer for payments. However, so I guess 5-10 years ago, we started seeing that the use of cash declined very, very rapidly. And we could see that in all our measures. And at the same time, there were different new technologies coming up in the private sector. And we thought, okay, maybe it's time to investigate if we should issue our money in a more modern form. So this was really the motivation. It seemed that people were abolishing our money, and we thought maybe that is because we're using old technology. Maybe we have to use a new technology. So in a simply stated, that was really our starting point. Later on, a few other things have come in as arguments, but we're still investigating how valid they are for us. And those have to do with resilience, crisis preparedness, and redundancy and stuff like that. Yes. Thanks. I'll stop there.
Yes. Wow. Thank you. So the quite a bit different, but I think some of the common themes would be resiliency. This is very similar to Ms. Yuan point for China, backup system. Innovation, use of new technology, that's similar to Central Bank of Nigeria as well. And of course, in China, different things occur because you have a private sector that probably needs some commercial, the central bank to actually also complement. Yeah. So let me ask about the progress of your project so far, please. Probably we go back to the lady first rule as well.
Oh, thank you. I just feel very flattered. Okay, I'll just briefly introduce the progress of ECNY, the ECNY pilot by now. Well, the pilot actually has been running very smoothly by now, and we have extended, our pilot scope to cover 23 cities and areas in total, covering 15 provinces in China. And very soon, actually, very soon, we will just extend the pilot to more areas. And besides, the 10 authorized operators were selected based on the overall capacities as the second-tier organizations. And the two-tier model by now is running is demonstrating its vigorous and actually motivated the participants to innovate and to extend the market. Well, and also, given that the COVID-19, and also the government, the local government also has some incentives to stimulate the economy. So they have actually just leveraged the ECNY red packets and to help the general public to get motivation for consumption, and also to enhance the financial inclusion in their local area. Also, there's a very important event this year is, of course, as you know, the Winter Olympic Games, and the ECNY. You can see that it is the first time, for ECNY to get into the view of the whole world. So, during that period, actually, ECNY was running very just surprisingly good, and there's no accidents during all these the events. And also earlier this year, in order to facilitate people to download this ECNY app, we have launched the app on the App Store. By now, the people here can download the app, both like for example, like in the App Store of Apple, and also several other app stores for Android phones. And besides the basic functions of ECNY product, we are also actually exploring some innovative functions. For example, like a smart contract. And we are developing a smart contract ecosystem, and to facilitate the use of ECNY in a broader sense, and also to help the enterprises and also the governments for easier use in their business, and also in their for example, like governance, like city governance, and so on. And right now, the smart contract use case has been launched. The first use case has been launched like earlier September. And also we are just keep evolving in our technical path as well. And we adopt actually a long-term evolution path, so that any suitable technology could be used in the ECNY system. So just looking forward, we'll just keep enhancing the capacity of our system, and also keep just enhancing the inclusion of participants, and also just to provide better services and products for the general public. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a small follow-up question, please. Can you tell us the use case, the first use case for smart contracts?
Okay. Well, it was used actually in just like a prepaid fund management scenario. And the merchant in the use case is educational, is a private school, and which provides certain like English training courses for the students. And in that case, usually the parents will have to just to prepay a large amount of money with the merchants. So in some extreme cases, for example, if there's anything happened with the merchant, or if the merchant like is not as honest as the parents have thought, then actually their prepaid money would be gone, or just they will just be subject to certain kinds of loss. So in order to help them to protect the money, and we have just designed this kind of business model and this kind of use case here. So the smart contract can provide the money, and nobody can touch actually the parents' pre-fund money. And every time they just, for example, they take a lesson, and then certain amount of money will be automatically released to the wallet of the merchant. And in other case, the money is protected by the smart contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, fascinating. Thank you for sharing your insights. Thank you. Adilu, please. You are focused on innovation as well. So your progress so far, please. Yep. And yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much. In terms of progress, the INERA projects, even though has like 5 phases of deployment, in which we tend to roll out the functionalities. But I can say that we love to look at the milestones in 2 big chunks. And the first is actually in laying the new foundation for the future monetary system. I mentioned earlier that we in Nigeria already have very progressive digital payments and cashless efforts. So the question is, why do we need a CBDC? We already have fast electronic payments. And the answer is, CBDC is bringing a world of new possibilities to push the sources of the existing initiative on cashless to a higher level. So, this technology advancements is presenting us an opportunity to re-architect the foundation of the payment system to enable more possibilities. So laying that foundation, which is the role of central bank, to ensure that we enable a virtuous circle of network effect for both existing and new players to begin to roll out new possibilities. That is the major milestone. That's the first milestone. And the second milestone is actually because the central bank is not expected to be the only player or to be a loner in this journey. Our role is to enable to lay this foundation and then enable innovation to thrive. So the second phase is to activate this innovation layer for private sectors to build. You can only be limited by your mind on what is possible. So we have been able to do these two major milestones in the fact that we have launched and operated the infrastructure, the Nigeria in-era CBDC infrastructure for 365 days. And now we have also opened hackathons. To develop innovation. We have been engaging private sectors, and a lot of youths, a lot of fintechs have come up with interesting proposals in terms of what is possible. And I'll go straight to your question of
Adilu, thank you. That's very great. At least we know that you have done. You want to bring in new monetary payment system, and you are complementing with the private sector, and you're also introducing innovations. But now, for the time that we have left, then maybe ask Kyle, please, about your progress and your future going forward.
Yes, so so we have also run a pilot, but it's been much less ambitious than the China one. And so what we really wanted to do with it was that we wanted to learn more about technology, the new type of technology, and see how this would work. And I would say that our experiences has been that yes, it's possible to build this kind of CBDC system, etc., but we have some mixed experiences, I would say, and the issues have to do with, or what we have, where we have seen that there are issues or challenges. They have to do with privacy, and they have to do with what is it called? So the capacity of the system, it's a bit slow. There are too many computations. It takes time with the technology we have used in our pilot. And we also have, we checked it against our legal setup, and there are also challenges there. So in terms of, so that was briefly on our lessons. It's possible and it worked, etc., but there were also some issues. Going forward, we are now, so it's not clear whether legally whether we can actually issue a CBDC as the laws are today here. So the government has asked an expert group to look at both a questions surrounding a CBDC, but also more generally about the role of the state in the payment market. And that inquiry will deliver their report in March, and after that there will be a process with the government and the parliament, etc. So I think it will all depend very much on what happens in that process. But we are preparing in the sense that we want to be ready if there is a go for launching something. So we're still working but I think our pilot is more or less finished now.
Oh, I see.
And there's no decision to launch anything here. We are now. It is much up to the politicians.
Yes, so thank you very much indeed. I think we have learned a lot today. We have seen the progress, and I think different central banks have different motivation and different ways, but there are a lot of common themes that we have picked up today, and I'm sure that we will be able to look at it, and in the few years going forward, we will know more about retail CBDC. But today we have heard from the three pioneers, so thank you very much indeed. Yeah. I think we just ran out of time, so that's why we're wrapping up. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And big hands to all the speakers and the moderator for the retail CBDC pilots, challenges, and lessons learned from the pioneers. Thank you for such an insightful session and for sharing great insights. And we wish you all the best for the future of CBDC journey.